So guys, this is my 2011 Honda Ruckus, and this is my second Honda Ruckus. I used to have a white Honda Ruckus, and the reason I got it, I know I bought it cheap and I know I can sell it for about the same price, so I'm just going to ride it around for a little bit and just kind of enjoy it for a little bit. I do like the 50cc scooters, but I prefer different 50cc's. I have a Yamaha C3 that's, I think, much better than this one. The Ruckus is a little bit of an oddball. You know, it's kind of like one of the retro bikes that Honda makes. And Honda has been making very interesting and kind of wacky bikes for a while. They have the Honda Ruckus, which is, I think, losing steam a little bit in the, you know, the desirability, because they have now a 125cc motorcycle that's called the Honda Grom. And most people that want to buy something are now getting the Grom, because now it gets you like a 6-speed or 5-speed manual transmission. It's a little bit faster and handles better. So it used to be that the Ruckus was the bike that everybody wanted, but there's still a really large aftermarket for the Honda Ruckus. It is a very cool looking bike. When you look at it, it's just really cool. And in this color, it looks great. And I've heard of a couple of people riding these across the United States, which is quite a feat in itself. It's very simple, nothing very complex. Like, you have like 2 headlights. These are glass headlights, by the way. They're not like the plastic headlights that you would see. And this is a very iconic style for Honda, for the Ruckus, and it looks great. I really love the industrial look that the Honda Ruckus has. And it's got a little rack here in the front, which is really nice. You can put whatever here, but it's not very usable for utility purposes. I think people like this because you can really mod the hell out of it. It's got a nice flat floorboard, so you can put stuff on it and then like step on it to carry things. And you do have kind of like a space underneath here, so you can put other, store other things. And they do make bags and stuff, so you can put them here. You also have your oil dipstick here. Here's the motor, the exhaust. Kind of odd that you have to remove to get to the tire, because I changed this tire. I changed the tires on both the front and the rear. So you have to remove the exhaust completely to access the tire, to remove it. But it's a very simple way of removing. It's just one bolt right over there, and it pops right out. You don't have to do much to work on this bike. Everything's just exposed. So if you're into modding, this thing is really good because it's so simple. You don't have to do much to work on this bike. Everything's just exposed. So if you're into modding, this thing is really good because it's so simple. Looking at the back of the bike, it's very like 90s, early 90s styling. This still uses like an old light, like the halogen or whatever. So it's very and like the signals are like these really chunky signals that most people remove and just put like LEDs nowadays. It has a very large fender, and I think a lot of people probably remove it, but I actually like the look and the utility of the fender, so I'm going to keep it on there. The previous owner removed the piece that engages the kickstart, and when you engaged it, like, it just wouldn't take. So I installed that piece in there, and it was from a Honda Metropolitan, so I got it fairly cheap. And of course, the air filter has been cleaned and the oil has been changed. But the frame looks really good. You also have a helmet locking thing here, so you can like put your helmet here and like lock it. I'm assuming there's like a toolkit over here that I have not even opened, but that's kind of cool. Look at that, very simple. It just uses these clamps to wrap around the seat. I didn't even know that. And that's that. Then you can lock the seat. I guess to just open it, all you have to do is kind of pull it back a little, and that's it. And when you look at the controls, very simple. Like, one thing that's really good to have is this handbrake. It's this little piece right here. You just push this, bring this down, and the rear tire is locked. If you want to undo it, just push it in and it activates. You have your high beam headlights, turn signals, you have your horn, and then here you have your kill switch and your starter. And then you have, of course, your speedo here with the odometer. It's got 8,000 miles, which is actually pretty high for a scooter. Then you have your turn signal dummy light, and then you have your high beam light and your fuel light. Let's start it up. It's very quiet starting. To start the scooter, you have to hold the rear brake and then just click on the start. And then it started. That's it. Pretty nice and quiet. I don't know if I want to go off-road and hurt myself. Look at that. Pretty nice. You can see it's a very easy bike to ride. The suspension is just terrible on these things. This is a school, so I don't want to, I haven't really ridden very much off-road on a scooter, but it'd be kind of interesting to take it somewhere to ride. But it is a very cute bike. It is very, very cute. It's very cheap. You don't get a lot for your money. It's a little overrated, but it is a fun bike. It is a really good bike to have and to play around. And let me just put the handbrake. These things do hold in value quite a bit, even though that the Grom has kind of passed them a little bit in the desirability factor. Like, this bike is a much better bike than this Ruckus, but the Ruckus has something that the Honda Elite doesn't have, and what that is coolness, something that this thing just doesn't have.